The trust and the background. My brother Kevin and I weren't just brothers. We were partners. After our parents passed away, we decided to pool our resources. We opened a joint high-yield savings account where we deposited every spare dollar from our side hustles and overtime shifts. We called it our Freedom Fund. It was meant for our future, maybe a down payment on a duplex or a business venture. For 3 years, we watched that balance grow. We hit $18,000 last month. We celebrated with a cheap pizza, talking about how we were finally breaking the cycle of poverty in our family. I trusted him with my life, and I certainly trusted him with that login. The heart-stopping discovery. It was a Tuesday morning when my world collapsed. I logged in to check the interest credit, expecting to see a few extra dollars. Instead, I saw a number that made my stomach drop. $0. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it was a glitch. I refreshed the page. Still zero. I clicked on the transaction history, and there it was. A single, massive withdrawal titled, Transfer to External Account. My hands started shaking. My first thought was that we had been hacked. I called Kevin frantically, but he didn't pick up. I called the bank, and they told me the transfer was authorized via a mobile device, Kevin's device. The betrayal hit me harder than the loss of the money, the confrontation and the sickening truth. I waited at Kevin's apartment for 4 hours. When he finally walked in, he couldn't even look me in the eye. I didn't scream. I just showed him the screenshot. He sat down and started crying. He told me his fiancée, Sarah, had been dreaming of a month-long luxury honeymoon in Bora Bora. She told him that if he couldn't provide the life she deserved, she wasn't sure about their future. Instead of telling her no or we can't afford it, he stole our collective future to buy her temporary happiness. He spent $18,000 of our money on first-class flights and overwater bungalows for a woman I barely knew. The ultimatums and the manipulation. I told him he had 48 hours to get that money back or I was going to the police. He went into a panic. He told me Sarah would leave him if the trip was canceled because the invitations were already printed with the honeymoon details. He had the audacity to ask me to be a man and support his new family. He said, "It's just money, but this is my soulmate." I looked at him and realized I didn't recognize my own brother anymore. He had become a puppet for a woman who valued a vacation more than his integrity. He then dropped the ultimate bombshell. He had promised her a total of $25,000, and he expected me to cover the remaining $7,000. The family civil war and the police. Within hours, the family group chat was a battlefield. My mother's sisters were calling me heartless. They said I was putting paper over blood. They argued that since I was single, I didn't need the money as much as a groom-to-be. One aunt even called the cops when I went to Kevin's house to take back the laptop I had bought him, claiming I was harassing a stressed man. Seeing the red and blue lights flashing in front of my brother's house while my family pointed fingers at me was the moment I realized I was officially done. I told the officer exactly where the $18,000 came from and showed the joint account ownership. The final verdict and the fallout. Now, the wedding is in shambles. Sarah found out I might press charges, and she's already looking for a way out because she doesn't want to be married to a criminal. Kevin is begging me to withdraw the police report, promising to pay me back over the next 10 years. But here's the thing. Trust isn't a loan you can pay back with interest. If his love is so fragile that it breaks over money he stole from his own flesh and blood, then he's better off alone. My family thinks I'm the villain for potentially sending my brother to jail. I think I'm just a guy who's tired of being stolen from. So tell me, am I the asshole for demanding my money back and letting his dream life burn down?